Supervillains love to wreak havoc on society and their fellow man. But many of them have gone too far and don't know when enough is enough. You're about to witness the battles of a group of megalomaniac supervillains as they check into court-appointed treatment and try to shake their villainous ways in an effort to become law-abiding citizens. I'm Dr. Cannibal, and this is Supervillain Rehab. Now, normally this is the part of the show where you would hear the confessional from this week's patient, but unfortunately that is not going to be the case. It is my misfortune to have to inform you that yesterday the Iron Mask was found dead in his room. Apparently as a result of what the medical examiner is calling a Kung Fu grip penile rip. Jesus Christ, is that a real fucking medical term?
Yes, it is. Now just read the prompter.
What the fuck? Anyways, it is believed that during what appears to be a marathon masturbation session, that poor son of a bitch's mechanical right hand froze up and lockjawed around his pecker, causing him to rip it free from his body. Holy fucking shit. Are you serious?
Yes. Now for the last goddamn time, read the fucking prompter.
Well, someone's got their cock in a knot today. Maybe that's because that someone dropped the fucking ball on this one, and now their arse is on the fucking hot seat. Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't on the prompter either, was it? Anyways, as a result of the Iron Mask's massive injury, he blacked out from the pain and in the process bled out on the floor of his room. Unfortunately, his body wasn't discovered until yesterday afternoon. Jesus Christ, I bet that smelled fucking horrific. Anyways, at this time there doesn't appear to be any signs of foul play. However, it hasn't been entirely ruled out just yet. Now, since I won't be conducting my final session with the poor bastard and his Penis Pixie today, we've decided to speak to those who spent the last 3 weeks with him instead, and get their insight on the supervillain known as the Iron Mask. Oh, no fucking way this could possibly be a bad idea. You know, you blokes are fucking geniuses.
Dang, man, that's a terrible way for a man to die. Shoot, I can't even imagine having my little Gestapo ripped clean from my body as I angrily shook the shit out of him. Damn, just the thought of him makes my one-eyed mayonnaise missile launcher hurt.
That's great, but what did you think about him as a person?
Well, tell you the truth, he's not a Negro, Beaner, or Judicent, so that puts him in a higher class of race right from the get-go. But with that being said, he is of Latvian birth, so he's still of a lesser race than mine, which makes him a ding-dang-gallus heathen. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, him ripping off his little spark dispenser and dying is God's way of punishing him for being of Mongoloid birth, proving once again that Germans are the master race. Steven, you go!
Shit, that ain't no kind of way for a nigga to go out. I don't care who the fuck you are. Now that I don't choke motherfuckers out no more, beating my dick is the only way I can relieve the stress caused by the dumb motherfuckers I run into on a day-to-day basis. You know what I mean? Shit, ripping your dick off is one motherfucking painful ass way to motherfucking die. But ripping some punk ass nigga's dick off because he lost his goddamn mind and had the motherfucking nerve to motherfucking disrespect me might be a more acceptable reaction than choking his bitch ass to death.
How does this have anything to do with what you thought of the Iron Mask?
Shit, nigga, I don't give a fuck about his dumb ass. One less swinging dick in this world means more motherfucking poontang for my black wearing ass. Shit, it's called natural selection, motherfucker. His dumb ass wasn't fit for this motherfucking world, so he was naturally selected to get the fuck out.
Sweet Jesus, that's terrible. Having a large penis, I can only imagine the intense pain one would feel from having it forcefully removed from one's body. It makes me quiver at the mere thought of it. But what's the most bizarre about this whole thing is that I thought a Kung Fu grip penile rip was some sort of kinky Asian reach-around technique involving a two-handed firm shaft tug while—
The question wasn't your queer take on his cause of death, but what you thought of him as a person.
Well, excuse me for trying to educate your fragile closed-off mind, you simple little bitch. Anywho, I never spent any significant time with him because his chiseled metallic visage reminded me too much like that of that backstabbing slut's chrome domes. But from what I did know of him, he seemed to have many sexual dysfunctions, like myself, that held him back from being who he truly was and allowed him to meet his full potential as a supervillain. So I guess in that respect, we're kind of kindred spirits, and it's a shame he had to die in the prime of his life. Now, just out of curiosity, did they happen to mention if he had a big cock or not?
Bro, that's not the fucking triumphant about tearing off your pussy upon the rod. In fact, that's the exact opposite of fucking triumphant. Triumph not. Too fucking bad for him. He wasn't of godly descent like myself, or he wouldn't have to ever fucking worry about his rhino dick ever detaching from his fucking body. Because demigods' penises are fucking indestructible, bro. Just another fucking triumph. Seriously, being this fucking awesome is almost too fucking easy, bro.
Yeah, that's great. But how about you answer the original question?
And that fucking was?
What do you think of him as a person?
How the fuck should I know, bro? A demigod doesn't waste his fucking time mingling with mere fucking mortals. Unless, of course, those mortals have big fucking tits, an ass that tastes like Rocky Road ice cream, and a freshly shaved vag that resembles Yul Brynner's well-oiled dome. However, I may pay his horned up grieving ma a visit and console her by letting her ride my fucking mammoth-sized elk cock until it showers her with a creamy load of my fucking sympathy. Now that would be fucking triumphant.
Duh, I'm very familiar with this cause of death because the KGB is the one who invented the Kung Fu grip penile rip as a form of information gathering during the Cold War. But this is the first time I've ever heard of someone being able to do it to oneself. Now, being Russian and former KGB, I've had the misfortune of spending time in Latvia, and can tell you firsthand that there are people who are not to be trusted. So every time one of their goat fucking people die gives me and all of Mother Russia great joy in having one less of them trudging around on the earth. Unfortunately, they are the Mexicans of Europe, and when they're not praying to false idols, they're popping out one system drainer after another. So, without a genocidal war, I don't see the wretched race going extinct anytime too soon. Although, while they're currently consumed with the grief over the death of their delusional leader, now would be a good time to invade and eviscerate them once and for all. Good riddance.
Is it really a big fucking surprise that one of these delusional and chronic masturbating cocksuckers found a way to jerk himself to death? This isn't a rehab for supervillains. It's a rehab for self-deprecating, obsessive dick slappers. Seriously, have you knuckle-dragged yourself through the halls of this place? Smells of sweaty ass and dried semen. It's fucking repulsive. I go through a fucking pair of gloves an hour just trying to get to and from my office. The only villainous activities these fucking wankers are involved in is the animalistic beatings they throw their pathetic little dicks on an hourly basis.
And again, what does this have to do with your take on the Iron Mask?
I don't give a fuck about any of these useless cocksuckers. I see the loss of a ruthless dictator as a good fucking thing for not just us here on the show, but for his oppressed country and the world as a whole. So as far as I'm concerned, they can all go fuck off and die.
Bro, I never got to meet the man in the Iron Mask, but I did get to see the movie once. It was pretty fucking trippy that they were twins. It's a fucking shame though that Leonardo DiCaprio is dead, because I fucking loved him What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
What are you talking about? Leonardo DiCaprio didn't die.
No shit, bro. Well then if he wasn't the man in the Iron Mask, who was?
Holy shit, you're fucking dumb.
I told you wankers that this was gonna fall flat and it's fucking ours. Once again, you butt fucked this up like you have the rest of this fucking show. Kudos to you all on a job well done. Bunch of fucking droopy dick brain dead fetuses, a lot of you. Unlike you, at least the Iron Mask was able to do one thing right before he died.
And what was that?
Well, in an ironic and poetic twist of fate, he was able to destroy the one thing that his mother used to manipulate him and was ultimately holding him back. His penis. You see, by beating his cock to death, he finally was able to release himself from his villainous ways and make the most progress of any of these fucking wankers. Now why can't the rest of you detestable cocksuckers beat yourselves off to death? Now before we leave you tonight, let's take a look back at some of the Iron Man's signature moments on this season of supervillain Rehab. And we'll see you next week. Cheers.
I am the infamous Iron Mask. I'm what you refer to as a bedwetter. Oh, for fuck's sake. I just pissed myself. Have you ever heard of the Judas Cradle? It's a device we use in my country to vanquish a person's inner demons, like the Penis Pixie that unfortunately still plagues me to this very day. Mother says he's the vile little bastard responsible for homosexuality, premature ejaculation, dead dick, and bedwetting. Without warning, he can cause me to soil my britches. Mother says it's due to all the rotten vulvas my meat soaker's been in. She says you don't stuff the turkey with your gravy unless you plan to have a gobbler. I'm afraid to say the Penis Pixie and I clashed again this past weekend. It all stems from an incident involving the voluptuous Miss White, and I overheard her vigorously beating her luscious beaver in submission. And before I knew what had happened, he had coated the wall and shower floor with a liter of my thick mayonnaise, which of course I stepped in, causing me to slip and fall down in the shower. I ended up slapping my balls against the stainless steel faucet. Now they're all swollen and tender. If by jack my meat you mean pleasured myself to ejaculation with my hand, then no. But if by jack my meat you mean forcefully stolen beef products from purveyors of meat, then yes. Yes, I have. Many times, in fact. Mother always said no son of hers penis would ever smell like an elk's cock on baby Jesus' birthday. Not sure why baby Jesus would ever want to smell a man's cock on his birthday, but I suppose it's better to be safe than sorry. You know, I've always been curious, though, as to how my mother knew what an elk's cock smelled like in the first place. Damn it, I just peed.
Thank you.